Hi, we're here tonight, a beautiful cloudy Saturday in San Francisco at Civic Center Plaza. And what's your name, please?
Ilana.
And you're here for the March for the Walk for Life, right?
For life.
And what brings you here today?
Just, you know, the fact that we all need to show up and support, you know, show our support for all of the people that can't, because the unborn child is a person that can't speak for themselves. So we're here to be the voice.
Well, is a fetus really a child in your view?
Yes, I believe so.
What about people who don't believe that a fetus is a child? Don't they have rights?
They do have rights, and as a person, I believe that we all have rights. And you know what makes you a person, if we're going to be, you know, not biased about it, I think the best thing to do is, you know, fall back on things that we can prove with science. So,
what are your views about contraception?
I think we need to make a distinction between, you know, contraception and abortifacients, because contraceptives, you know, prevent the sperm from fertilizing the egg. And a lot of the times when we say contraception, we lump together contraceptives and abortifacients.
Okay, so let's just talk about contraception minus abortification.
Abortifacients?
Yes.
Sure. Okay. I mean, I am a Catholic, so, you know, that influences my views, definitely. I think for, you know, people that don't believe in, you know, Catholicism or in Christianity, then, you know, you get into like kind of a gray area with contraceptives. But there is no life if the sperm hasn't yet fertilized the egg. So, you know, with contraceptives...
So is contraception acceptable to you or not?
To me, no.
It's not acceptable?
No.
But do you believe other women should have the right to have contraception?
No, I believe that, you know, you should respect your body and its natural functions, and I don't think that...
So in other words, you have to have a baby, even if you don't want a baby, even though you already have 6 children, and you're going to starve, you're going to be out of the street. That's God's will, that you should be on the street and starving because you can't afford that other baby? And don't you think with 8 billion people we're a little bit overpopulated?
I think that if you make the choice to have sex with someone, you are also making that choice because...
So wait a second. We also have a choice to use contraception. We have a choice to have abortion, and it's really your business to be telling someone else what to do. You believe that?
I believe that you shouldn't get in the way of your body's natural...
Well, everyone has a choice, right? But shouldn't the other people have a choice to have an abortion if they don't want to?
Your choice cannot affect someone else's health and well-being.
Well, whose other health would they be affecting?
Their unborn child.
But that's not a child, that's a fetus. It's not unborn, it can't survive with the mother. What about if the mother is raped? Do you believe she still should have to have the child?
The child did not choose to be conceived. And if you want to say that the fetus is not a child, then I ask you, what is your definition of a child?
When it's popped out of the womb and it's breathing.
So
that's the religion that many religions also believe, that that's not, the fetus is not a child. It's only your belief that believes that, and you have no right, in my view, to impose your belief on other people. On the other hand, if you're really against abortion, you should be promoting free contraception everywhere to discourage abortion. But to say, you know, that you don't have a choice about being raped, and often women don't have a choice about sex, and if their parents haven't provided them with contraception training and materials, and the state isn't doing that, and who is? At the same time, the United States government is killing a lot of women and children overseas through various policies, through predator drones, through supplying weapons to countries like Saudi Arabia, and I don't hear a word from the Catholic Church about that. I don't hear a word. I don't see, there's an anti-war march down there at Powell Civic Center, a big rally, and I don't see any of you supporting that. It seems really hypocritical to me to be against abortion, but then not to be fanatically supporting contraception and availability to contraception, just saying people should have sex. That's awfully sanctimonious as telling someone else to do, in my point of view. I think you have a right not to have an abortion, but you don't have any right to tell anybody else not to have an abortion, in my opinion. And it's not the government's business to arrest people. And how can you possibly support this president? How can you make any excuses for his president and the way he treats women? What is your view on that?
So you just covered a lot. You gave me a lot of information.
Yes.
And I do want to backtrack. I'm going to go in order for
Okay.
you, because you did give me a lot of information. So my very first point is that when you, according to you, what makes the child a child is his location. Because you said when he pops out of the womb, that's when he's a child. Correct. That is what you said.
Yes, but that is also the belief of many people. So how can you impose your views on people that believe something different?
Right. So let's just stick with one definition, the one that you've given me, that a child is a child because of his location. The child is not any more human because of his location. If you put me in Peru, I'm not a different human being. If you take me 9 months, you know, right before I was
but nobody takes an abortion 9 months. There aren't any abortions at 9 months. That's not true. You know, but but what about 2 cells subdivided? Is that a fetus? Is that a child? 2 cells subdivided?
Yes, because every cell in the body, in the fetus, has this beautiful, amazing ability to contain everything that makes a person who he is. From the moment you are conceived, everything that you are, everything you will ever be, is within that.
And how about what I said about, you know, making contraception available so that women don't have to have an abortion to begin with, minus abortificants.
Minus abortifacients, yes.
Are you in favor of having government actively promoting contraception, educating women about contraception so they don't have to have an abortion? Or are you just going to be sanctimonious and say you should die you on the street because you're having a child you can't afford? We didn't want to give you any contraception while you're homeless and you couldn't afford it.
No, because this is assuming that sex is like the greatest thing in the world, when in reality, people need to just not choose to have sex if they're not ready to have a child. If you're going to
Are you still a virgin?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. 22 years old in February. Still.
23 years old, still a virgin. I see. Willingly. Okay, but that's very uncommon in the United States, you have to admit. So what is your views on American military killing women and children in other countries and supplying weapons to countries like Saudi Arabia that do that in Yemen? Are you against that, or you haven't thought about it?
I think that we need to definitely be consistent with our worldviews, and we need to value every human life. Just because that I choose to put a lot of my time and energy into this, because I feel like this is where it's most needed, because this is my home country, and this is my generation. These are my little brothers and sisters that aren't getting the chance to be born, to have this life, this amazing life that I'm blessed with here.
You don't think there's an overpopulation problem?
I think there is a misdirection of resources. I think that we do have the resources on this earth if we were, you know, to help each other. But we can't help each other, we can't help other people if they're not here for us to help. We cannot try to do everything at once when, you know, we have kids here that aren't being born in this supposed land of opportunities. And you know, this is really, we're one of the richest countries in the world.
So would you support like a lot of health care for women that are pregnant, and after they're pregnant, would you support the government paying for their paying for their housing and food and so forth, since they can't afford to live by themselves and you have to take care of a child, you can't really work?
Well, you know what, we do have a lot of...
No, I'm asking you, would you support the government supporting those children, because it's obviously not working now. There's a lot of women with children out in the street right now, homeless.
Yes.
You would support that, okay. And also, how do you feel about the way Catholic priests are rumored, I'm sure very unfairly, at sexually abusing young children, including girls and the altar boys? How do you feel about that?
Obviously it's disgusting and it needs to stop, and I think that, you know, it's really good to bring it out into the light, to make it known that, you know, this is an issue that needs to be addressed.
Don't you feel the Catholic Church is covering it up?
I feel that we have a lot of corruption because we are human beings, and that one one diseased, one diseased part of us does not negate the whole of our teaching.
I see. So the fact that a large plurality of people in the Catholic Church seem to have been abusing children is okay?
It is not a large, and
it's pretty large. I mean, it's a lot of reports. I'm like amazed at how many reports I read. And those are only ones reporting. There's got to be a lot of unreported instances.
And you also have to take a look at the span of time over which these reports have been documented and the other actions that have been taken to...
So would you support marriage for priests?
No.
I see. So in other words, they should just continue to abuse children because they don't have any other sexual outlet. And also, when you have that type of situation, you're attracting that sort of person to the priesthood.
No.
Because it's very unnatural. I mean, Protestant priests all can get married. Other religions can get married. Why shouldn't they get married?
Because that was their decision. This is very clear.
But I mean, the church could change the policy.
They could.
Okay, thank you. Anything else?
No, I think that's it, unless you have anything else for me.
No.
May I ask who this interview is for?
I'll put this on YouTube.